Chivalry 2, developed by Torn Banner Studios, is a medieval multiplayer hack-and-slash game that immerses players in the brutal and chaotic battles of the medieval era. The game is a sequel to the popular Chivalry, medieval warfare, and aims to provide an authentic and adrenaline-fueled medieval combat experience. Unlike traditional single-player narrative-driven games, Chivalry 2 focuses primarily on multiplayer battles, where players engage in large-scale conflicts as knights, archers, and footmen. The game's developers, Torn Banner Studios, have a reputation for creating immersive and engaging multiplayer experiences, making them well-suited for the development of Chivalry 2. Chivalry 2 is set in a fictional medieval world inspired by historical events and folklore. Players are immersed in a world where two factions, the Agutian Knights and the Mason Order, clash in epic battles for supremacy. While the game's lore is not as deeply explored as in some single-player RPGs, it serves as a backdrop for the intense and immersive multiplayer combat. Chivalry 2's gameplay is the heart of the experience, offering intense and visceral medieval combat. Players can choose from a variety of classes, each with its own unique weapons and playstyles, and engage in epic battles with up to 64 players. The combat system is skill-based, requiring players to time their attacks, blocks, and dodges carefully to succeed. The game also features a variety of game modes, including Team Objective, Free-for-all, and Team Deathmatch, adding variety and replayability to the experience. Visually, Chivalry 2 is impressive, with detailed character models, realistic animations, and beautiful environments that capture the brutality and chaos of medieval warfare. The game's sound design is equally impressive, with a dynamic soundtrack that adds to the intensity of the battles. Overall, the graphics and music work together to create an immersive and memorable experience. Chivalry 2 excels at creating a chaotic and immersive atmosphere. The game's large-scale battles, realistic physics, and detailed environments combine to create a sense of being in the midst of a medieval battlefield. The sound design also plays a crucial role in creating the game's atmosphere, with the clang of swords, the cries of soldiers, and the roar of the crowd adding to the intensity of the experience. Chivalry 2 is a thrilling and immersive multiplayer experience that delivers on the promise of intense medieval combat. The game's focus on skill-based combat and large-scale battles sets it apart from other multiplayer games, offering a unique and engaging experience for players. While the game may not appeal to everyone, particularly those looking for a more casual experience, fans of medieval combat and competitive multiplayer will find a lot to love here. Pros: intense and visceral combat. Chivalry 2's combat system is one of its strongest features, offering a deep and satisfying melee combat experience. The game requires players to master timing, positioning, and tactics to succeed, making each encounter feel intense and rewarding. Large-scale battles. The game's 64-player battles are chaotic and epic, adding to the sense of scale and immersion. The battles feel dynamic and unpredictable, with players constantly adapting to the flow of the battlefield. Variety of classes and weapons. Chivalry 2 offers a wide range of classes and weapons to choose from, allowing players to customize their playstyle to suit their preferences. Each class has its own unique abilities and playstyles, adding depth to the gameplay. Beautifully realized medieval setting. Visually, Chivalry 2 is stunning, with detailed character models, realistic animations, and breathtaking environments. The game's art direction captures the brutality and beauty of medieval warfare, immersing players in its world. Dynamic soundtrack. The game's soundtrack is dynamic and fitting, adding to the intensity and immersion of the battles. The music changes based on the situation, enhancing the atmosphere and making each moment feel more impactful. Strong community and support. Chivalry 2 has a dedicated community of players and developers who are actively involved in the game's development. The developers regularly release updates and patches to improve the game and address player feedback, ensuring a positive and engaging experience for players. Cons: steep learning curve. Chivalry 2's combat system can be challenging to master, especially for new players. The game requires a lot of practice and skill to become proficient, which may be intimidating for some players. Limited single-player content. While the game's focus is on multiplayer, some players may find the lack of single-player content disappointing. The game could benefit from more robust solo play options to cater to a wider audience. Occasional technical issues. Some players have reported experiencing bugs and connectivity issues, though these seem to be relatively minor and infrequent. The developers are actively working to address these issues, but they can still be frustrating for players. Repetitive gameplay. Some players may find that the gameplay can become repetitive over time, especially in longer play sessions. The game's focus on melee combat means that encounters can start to feel similar after a while, which may reduce the game's long-term appeal for some players. Limited game modes. While Chivalry 2 offers a variety of game modes, some players may find that the options are limited compared to other multiplayer games. More variety in game modes could help keep the gameplay fresh and engaging for longer periods. Overall, Chivalry 2 is a fantastic multiplayer experience that delivers on its promise of intense and immersive medieval combat. With its deep combat system, stunning visuals, and epic battles, the game offers a unique and engaging experience that is sure to delight fans of the genre. While it may not be for everyone, those looking for a challenging and rewarding multiplayer experience should definitely give Chivalry 2 a try.